Welcome back. Just a shave. I gotta pick a brush. Didn't have time to soak it. Let's do I need something that goes good with brown. I have to do a woody one. Here's a cool one. Gray Dog quilt brush. Obviously different kinds of woods and things. Very cool. Didn't come down here planning on doing a video. And had to look some things up before my shower, so I didn't even get my soap lathered for you. We'll whip this out. Wasn't gonna do. If you caught my video yesterday, you'll see you got a new bit of a format with the coffee chat. We'll see how that goes. So far, the response has been good. I hope people are being honest. That they enjoyed it. Like I said, the trick will be finding time where, I just can't talk like that when people are around the house and stuff like that. It's gonna be kind of weird. I'll be finding time for it, but so if I can keep those up, then the shaves can be a little bit shorter, because if I have a big topic, we just switch it over to the coffee corner. Anyway, let me show you what I'm using. You saw the brush. I'm using a Southern Witchcrafts Fougere Nemeta. Kind of cool label. So Nemeta, that's what I looked up before the shave. Is a sacred place for the Celtic religion. So interesting. So I don't know what the name is ultimately going to be for this video. It's funny because I grabbed this soap and smelled it, and then I picked a scent. So I've got the aftershave. So this is why I picked this shave, is I decided to go backwards and look at my aftershaves, which I don't have. I don't matchy on my soaps. I don't remember using this. I'm sure I did at least once because I used the soap once, but look at this. I didn't shake this up. This is how it's sitting on the shelf. Is that right? It does say shake well before using, so I guess it's supposed to be like that. And then for the scent, we're using Atelier Cologne, although it is a Cologne Absolute, vetiver Fatal. And so I saw the vetiver Fatal, and that reminded me, what is it? I guess I'll just name it this. Anyway, if I remember, I hate the term vetiver. But then the soap is not a vetiver, it's a fougere, which I think I like it just as much as vetiver. And so I looked them up, because in my mind they're somewhat interchangeable. I was like, what's the difference? Because I think when I was thinking, I saw the soap is fougere, and I was thinking I hate vetiver and kind of mixing them up. And they're two different plants, all right? So fougere is a fern type plant, and vetiver is, I guess, a grass. So from that aspect, I guess they make sense. But the reason why I hate the terms is that it doesn't tell you at all what it's going to smell like. At all. Well, okay. It's not going to smell like cinnamon sticks. If it's a vetiver, it's probably not going to smell like coffee. So it narrows it down to a more natural type of smell usually. And some of them make sense, because there's English fern, which I guess would be a fougere. Unless fougere is a specialty type of fern. English fern from Penhaligon. Here, I think, do we? Yeah, this stuff. Smells like what you would think fern smells like, and it's a nice, kind of sweet scent. Part of me I don't want to cut the old Adam's apple there. The problem being, I guess, not all ferns smell like that. So here's the point. You can have a fougere or a vetiver that smells completely different than another one. So to say, like, in general, I think if you like citrus scents, if you like baking spices, in general, except for some soap companies that tend to be way out there, you can say I tend to like citruses and like most of them. But fougere and vetiver seem to be off in a world all on their own, where they can go from, that's all I'm saying, is yes, everything has a range or variety of stuff, but it just seems like these two, the range is huge. And I don't know, every time I try to think of a comparison in my mind, I hear people saying, yeah, but what about this, what about that? Because I'm thinking like citrus. For the most part, yes, you're going to like some citrus scents better than others, or baking spice scents better than others. But you probably hate a whole bunch of them. But like these guys, you can really like English fern. And this stuff is on the opposite end. And this is not alone in the way that it smells. This is not an atypical fougere, I don't believe. So that's all I'm saying, is if they had better terms, and I guess it's tough if they're naming it after the plant, that's what it is. But it'd be nice if there's some way to give you a better sense of what end of the spectrum this stuff is on. Because I'm using this, so obviously don't hate it. But this is not one that I'm going to put on the scent and go, oh, that smells amazing. This is like interesting. It's layered. It smells to me, not in derogatory, but it smells like weeds, where weeds have like this sharp kind of bitter scent to them often, to me. But that's just it. It's different and it's interesting. Uh-oh, one little weeper. Hey, I got a comment on the goatee yesterday on one of my other YouTube videos that, hey, looks great, thanks for growing it out, this and that. So on the video that I shot yesterday, I think that was looking pretty good. I had a little bit of wax or balm or something on it, kind of tamed it down a little bit. And I like this length. That's the problem. It needs to have something on it to keep it narrow. I've been trimming the sides a little bit. Don't want to do it too much. Because I still want the thickness in it, the density. I thought it was pretty good. So anyway, that's all. There's no point to what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it'd be nice. There's too big of a range to just say vetiver. One can qualify as a vetiver and smell absolutely nothing like another one. That's all. Yeah. And Barber Dave, I'm just talking smell. I don't know, but watch Barber Dave. I don't know about flavor, man. He's the only one that's apparently tasting his soaps. But did somebody argue that smell is related to yes, it is, but it's different. It adds to taste, but freaking. Gotta get in a good shape with it, man. This is such a nice razor. Anybody else have this? This is really loose. It was really stiff. Look at that. And now it's really loose, which it doesn't affect the shape because you're holding it anyway. It's just I liked the feel of it when it was a little bit tighter. It's got a flathead screw head right there. Is that the correct term, slot head? I don't know. So I thought about getting a screwdriver out and turning that to see what happens. But one, there's the other side is completely smooth, so there's really nothing to hold on there to keep it from rotating. And the biggest thing is, this is such a beautiful razor. I don't want to take a metal screwdriver to that and slip it all and put a little mark on it. I just deal with it. I just didn't know if that was everybody else that has one of these, if it just loosens up and that's just kind of the way it is, or if I need an adjustment there. So I didn't say, I guess. So this fougere, oh, I did. It smells like, it's sharp. It's harsh. It's a little bitter. Very weedy. Which, if you bought it wanting to smell soft and warm and a little sweet, you'd be surprised. There you go. Beautiful shave though, Allen Block. So I don't know what time I can't see what time it is because we're recording. I think it's 7 something. Got to kind of get up and moving. I had a donut purchase for breakfast requested yesterday for this morning, so I'll do that. The oldest has a friend coming over to make McGriddles apparently for breakfast, which, what is it? I mean, McGriddle is just a pancake with syrup already in the mix, right? Which, I think I'm going to save that for a coffee corner whole video or something, but that's the trend now, is they see something on social media, and even though you can already know exactly what it's going to taste like or it's going to be terrible, it's just a more complicated way of doing something, but because somebody famous did it, then we want to try it. And you say, well, you could just do this. But I know, but that's not how they did it. Like I said, we'll save that. As I like to say, in the corporate world, we'll put that in the parking lot for later discussion. So, let's see, we're doing fougere. What are we gonna do? Lemon. Well, we'll do unlabeled lavender, because that's more of ground plant versus lemon, which would be tree grown, whatever. Cadre Zoom call tonight. Be there or don't be there, I guess. I mean, if you don't want to be part of the cool kids. 2 in 1. Woo. And then, oh yeah, so let's see what happens with this after it gets, it's not wapow, it's not wapow. Well, okay, I'm mixing the bejesus out of this stuff. Look at that. And it still seems, all right, so now I'm questioning putting this on my skin. And I'm also questioning as to if the bottle is colored that way. Because this seemed like bubbles. And you'd think if it was bubble, oh, see, now you can see the top of the liquid there. Yeah. I think the bottle's colored that way. Oh, you dirty dog, you got me. You got me. I figured this is half bubbles, but there, can you see there's a line right here where the liquid stops and there's actually bubbles above that. So the liquid is this yellowy color that doesn't change when you put it on its side. Well, now we know. And I'll forget by the next time I use it. Well, that's interesting. I would imagine I've used this once before, but I don't recall this. Is that there is a, talking of, sweet, almost citrus, See that sweetness, that adds the enjoy it versus, that's interesting. Let me figure that out. It does have a kind of, and a general, like a lemon orange mixture, a little bite of lemon, sweetness from the orange, almost a little floral. The aftershave is more enjoyable to me than the soap because it knocks down some of those rough edges of the weeds. Man, that's cool. Try this one out if you like. If you like adventure, if you like to try new things, if you like things that aren't one note, that's an interest. In fact, this Southern Witchcrafts, these guys, I'd say a lot of their soaps are that way. Kind of like tallow and steel, where you're not going to get just a basic soap. But I say that and that's not true because I have Cedar by Southern Witchcrafts. It is just cedar, but it is done amazingly. I love that soap. So they apparently do, I don't know what else they have. A lot of their soaps, at least, are not one note. They're complex, but tallow and steel, boy, you got to be in for some funk and some darkness and some outside of the box thought processing to enjoy some of their scents, I believe. Southern Witchcrafts is inventive, is different, is multi-layered, but not as out there. I'm liking this one. Man. I'm going to say this and I'll forget it by the time I get somewhere to write it down, but I don't remember if they make scents, perfumes. This one I wouldn't mind wearing from time to time. It's interesting. The floral is almost getting to be a little bit too much. Anyway, we're going to pile on some of this vetiver fatale because we're going to assume that that aftershave is not going to last through the day. And this is the same thing. It's a little bit on the weedy, spiky note. So that's why I paired it up, even though it is a grass, not a fern, right? It's vetiver, yes. Same story. Anyway, glad you could join me. Come join us on the Zoom call. That's where all the cool kids are. See you on the forum.